Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Emmanuel Arts. My name is Priyanka. Today I'm here with a fun project for kids. It's called glitter glue painting, and as the name says, we are going to paint it with glitter glue. So for this project, the materials that we need are a transparency sheet, some aluminum foil sheets. I'm using the foil sheets because they have this texture. Usually the aluminum foil roll doesn't have the texture, so the texture gives it more beautiful effect. So I'm using the sheets, but if you have the roll at home, you can use that one. It doesn't matter. A pair of scissors, a pencil, a tape, a ruler, any cardboard or chipboard or anything that you have, any packaging material like a cardboard or a chipboard. Elmer's clear glue. I'm using Elmer's clear glue, and I would highly suggest that you use the clear glue and not the white glue, just because the white glue will not dry clear as much as clear as the clear glue itself. So I'm suggesting to use the clear glue, but if you do have white glue, you can use that, but it will not give the same effect. So I highly recommend the clear glue. Then we need some glitter. So I'm using Recollections glitter, fine glitter. So I had a pack of 24, but I'm just showing you the ones that I'm going to use for this project. So make sure you use the fine glitter. Then you need white construction paper. This is an important part of it too. Then you need permanent markers, especially a black permanent marker. For this tutorial purposes, I used the Sharpie to color the painting, but you do get permanent markers at Dollar Tree, and they are as good as the Sharpie markers, so they give the same effect. So if you want to use the Dollar Tree permanent markers with the kids, that's absolutely fine. They work just as well. So these are the materials that we need for this project. So let's jump right into the tutorial and get started with this fun project. So let's begin with the tutorial. What I've done here is I've attached my pre-done drawing and a sheet of transparency on a clipboard, and I'm taking a black permanent marker, and all I'm going to do is trace the drawing. So just go over the lines. This is fun because the kids just have to trace over the lines, and it's easier for them to draw. And make sure you're using a permanent marker so it doesn't rub off from the transparency sheet. The regular sketch pens or washable markers will rub off from the transparency sheets. So all you need to do is trace the outline of the drawing that the kids want to make. And the clipboard helps them to keep the transparency sheet and the paper in one line, because if they move the paper around, the drawing can move, or the transparency sheet can move, and the alignment of the lines will shift, which can lead to the errors in the drawing. So this is a good way to help them keep the paper and transparency sheet in one position, and they can just move the board around. So I'll complete this. I'll complete transferring my drawing onto the sheet and be back after I'm done. So I went ahead and completed my drawing. I made some changes to my original drawing. The next step is to flip the side you did the marker. You flip it over and turn it around, and I'm just using a white paper underneath to see the lines clearly. So then I'm using Sharpie, but you can use any permanent markers that you have available in the house and just color the painting with the Sharpie. So color all the parts of the drawing with the Sharpie or permanent marker. There are permanent markers available in Dollar Tree for $1, like I think it's a pack of 8, and they are for $1, which are good for younger, I mean for kids. They can probably, if they can use those ones, and they work well, as they were good as well. Also make sure that the kids are not going outside the lines, because once the permanent marker is done, it's done. You cannot undo it, and if you mix any other color with it, it will change the color. So just make sure that the kids are being careful and not going outside the line. So I'm going to go ahead and complete my coloring and come back in a few minutes. So I went ahead and finished coloring my drawing. The next step is to make the base for this painting. So for the base of the painting, I'm using a cardboard. This was a packaging material that was lying around in my house. You can use a chipboard or anything that is available in your house to make the base. For that, first you need to take your painting and put it on the cardboard. Make sure you have space on all 4 sides and draw lines all around the drawing. Okay. Once you have the drawing, once you have drawn the lines on all 4 sides, just eyeball and make another line on all 4 sides, which is like around a centimeter and a centimeter or a centimeter and a half on all 4 sides. Make sure they are even, but they don't need to be exact. So just draw 4 corners. Here I already have very less space, so I'm not drawing the lines on all 4 sides. I'm just doing it on the 2 sides which I have a lot of space, and then go ahead and cut those lines. You can use a pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife. Make sure that make sure an adult does this. Do not do it by yourself. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to have a border on the border around the painting. So here's my cut piece of cardboard. Then take a piece of aluminum foil. I'm using aluminum sheet because it has a texture on the background which gives good effect to the painting. So you just take a sheet of and then cover the cardboard with aluminum foil, turn it back side and fold from all 4 sides. So what you can do is you can go ahead and tape all 4 sides, and I will be back after taping it offline. So I went ahead and taped all 4 sides of the aluminum foil. And to give this board a neater look, what I'm going to do is I took a piece of construction paper. I'm going to cut it to the size of the board and then tape it the same way. So I'll do that offline too and come back. I'll tape this to my board and I'll come back with the further steps. So this is the construction paper that I attached to the back of my board. This gives it a neater look and it makes it look better. Then you flip over to the main side of the of your board, and then we have to attach the painting not on the side where you colored it, but on the other side where you drew the drawing, and just tape it to the board. So just take a piece of the tape and tape it around on all four sides. It's the same way I taped the foil and the construction paper, nothing different, just taping the picture on the front of it. Make sure that you don't put too much tape on the drawing, just a little bit to stick it to the board, and you can just roll it on the back side of the board. Okay, so this is how you tape your picture to the board, and I will be back with the coloring. After attaching the painting to the board, the next step is to glitter it. That's the fun part, to glitter it and make it look all glittery. It's so much fun. So you take the clear glue. I'm using aluminum foil to make my glitter glue, but you can use a foam plate or a palette or anything that you want to use. So just take a little bit of glue and take the color according to your drawing. So I'm coloring the mushroom right now, so I'm coloring the mushroom top, so it's red, so I'm taking the red glitter and I'm going to mix it with the glue. You have to just make sure that the consistency is that the glitter glue is not runny and you can see the glitter in it. So I added too much glitter, so I can just take a little bit of glue and just make it more glittery. This is how it should look, and this is what the consistency has to be. It should not be too thick and it should not be too runny. So then you just take it on the brush and paint it like you are painting with acrylic paints or watercolor or anything. Just paint the glitter on the space that's this color of the part. So like I'm doing red glitter, then I'm going to cover it on the red parts. You may not be able to see it too clearly through the camera, but once you do it personally, it looks very beautiful. It shines, and especially when you put it under the yellow light, it is very beautiful. It looks amazing. And make sure that you cover all the parts evenly and no part is left without glitter, so make sure that you have covered each and every space with glitter. So now I'm going to finish this painting, glittering my painting offline, and I'll come back with the finished painting. So I went ahead and completed my painting with glitter. So I completely filled it with glitter. I'm not sure if you are able to see it clearly on the camera, but it looks absolutely beautiful. As I mentioned earlier, it looks more beautiful under the yellow light. So this is one of the paintings that I made. Then there are other examples. Here is a boat that I made. Because it's for kids, I kept it really simple, nothing complicated. You can even go more intricate if the kids are a little older, say probably 12 to 14 or 15 years old. You can go little intricate designs like this house and the flowers and everything. Because the shapes are smaller, it's harder for younger kids to do it, but a little older kids can definitely do this. And then I made this Pikachu, which was inspired by the new game and the new craze Pokemon Go. And I did this in my art class with my students, and they were extremely excited. If the kids are young, you can, and if you want to teach them in your art class, all you can do is you can trace the drawing for them, and they just have to do the permanent markers, coloring with the permanent markers and the glitters. Like you see here, I haven't colored all the leaves and stems and everything. I just colored the main part to show up. If the kids are say older than 12 years, then they can definitely trace it for themselves and then do the permanent markers and colors. So it depends on what age the students or the kids are. Also, this painting takes at least 2 to 3 hours to dry, so make sure that once it is done, the kids are not touching it, because it might get messed up and it will stick around on their clothes and hands and everywhere. So make sure that you let it dry for at least 2 to 3 hours. I usually keep it overnight to dry, but with the kids, you can definitely tell them not to touch it for 2 to 3 hours. So I hope you like my tutorial. If you do like my tutorial, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more wonderful kids craft ideas, art ideas. I always upload kids art and craft ideas on Wednesdays, so please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a good day.